Hello YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and welcome back to the Outsiders channel. And I've been recently challenged actually with some fantastic videos and various emails that have come through regarding some personal house rules that I use for Pathfinder. Could I be kind enough to share some of them with you here or in the community? And I thought, well, that's a really good challenge, and I certainly will. I've been using for a while something I picked up through Hackmaster Basic and transported it immediately into Pathfinder because I think it's absolutely perfect. And that is that every stat in Pathfinder, this can be used in 3.5 and 3rd edition, actually now gets a percentile roll with it. I'll quickly explain this. Anybody that remembers original D&D will know that Strength originally had a percentile roll with it. So let me give you an example. Let's say someone's got a 14 con and you roll a percentile dice and it's 1421, for example. Now, I'll just make a note of that. When you go up a level, you get 50 stat points to play with. These are 50 percentile stat points, not actual stat points, don't get too worried. We do away with the normal situation where a character gains a stat point every 4 levels. Now on, they get 50 stat points to play with. And you can put a maximum of 25 points into any stat once each level, and the remaining 25 split up, of course, however you want. You can put another 25 in another stat if you wanted to, but it's up to you, up to the player how you do it. We found this has been a fantastic, we've been tried this out for the best part of 2 years now, a fantastic thing to do for Pathfinder. It's brilliant, and it's beautifully balanced and makes levelling up really interesting. Now, as well, the other advantage, of course, to using this system is now you've got a really good penalty that you can use for death, which at the moment in Pathfinder is one of the parts that I find very frustrating. Death should be meaningful in the kindest possible way. It should have ramification. There should be some loss to the player personally. As we've done away pretty much with any XP losses, and we've pretty much followed the Pathfinder system as is, what I wanted to make sure that would happen is that the player felt some sort of physical loss. And so what happens is when you do raised deads, you take a D100 and take that off every stat. So let's take that example where someone had a con of 1421. Let's say they lost 50 points. Their stat would simply drop down to 1371. Now, it would take a couple of levels, because 71 plus 25 is 96. A couple of levels time they can recover back to 14. A much fairer penalty, more realistic, and really interesting. So I share that with you here on the YouTube world as one of my tips for one of the house rules that I've been using. Another one that we've used very well and very successfully, and we've been doing it for a number of years now, that again seems to work very well for Pathfinder, is at every level, except the first, you get maximum hit points. But at every level after the first, you get 2 rolls for your hit points. You roll and the DM rolls, and you take the better of the 2. This gives the DM some really meaningful stuff when people are rolling up there, sorting out the characters when they level up, because your role often really, you actually feel you're doing some good for the player as well, because you're rolling to help them and improve, because often their roles, it's amazing how many times they need you to bail them out to give them good hit points. And I love that, because it just makes you feel pretty special. And for anybody who's seen my first secret video, it's a good way of helping the players as well there. A little tip in my first one, it's a good way of using those tips to actually benefit the players here. So I found those 2 little house rules, including the way that we've handled death, very, very useful. Another thing I must add as well on the death rules is obviously as you go up into the different raises, the penalty gets less and less. So ultimately, you've got raised dead, then you've got resurrection, then you've got true res. Now when you get resurrection, you don't take the full 100 percentile dice loss. You actually take half the amount rolled as a loss. When you get true resurrection, you take no loss. So it's perfectly balanced, perfectly fair, and at those levels that you get those spells, it's neither here nor there. So I thought I'd share this with you on YouTube and hope that those house rules could be of benefit to others out there, and I share them willingly with you. Anyway, I've been Sean Connors. This has been Outsiders. Till the next time, take care of yourselves and happy gaming. Bye-bye.